Hello and welcome to the Scheduleview appointment scheduling software overview demonstration. My name is Harry Salent, developer and president of Scheduleview.com. Welcome to this demonstration. We're excited about Scheduleview software and all the features and benefits that it can have for your organization and company. Scheduleview was released in the year 2001, and we have 3 editions, a Light, Standard, and Plus. On our website, you can look at the product section of the website to get a comparison of these 3 different features. And during the demonstration, I'll also show you how to switch between these 3 different editions so you could actually see the features and see whether the feature that you want is in the edition that you're wanting to purchase. Scheduleview syncs with QuickBooks and Outlook. We also have an optional web sync that publishes your Scheduleview to the web for your staff or customers to view and or edit. You can select if you want your staff, or you could select if you want your customers to view or edit their appointments. You can disable either one. Most people want their staff to view their appointments online, and a lot of people don't want their customers to get in there. So you can enable either feature that you like. Scheduleview works great for scheduling professionals, lawyers, insurance agents, anybody that you have to make an appointment for. It also works great for service businesses, plumbers, electricians, cabinet installers, satellite dish installers, anybody that goes, pool companies, anybody that goes out to either your home or business to perform a service. It's also great for medical offices, for groups of people that you need to schedule fuel, and just regular offices. With that overview, I'm going to go ahead and now get into the program. I'm going to show you first of all how to change between the different editions. So you would go to Help and About, and then you can switch right here. Just click the edition that you want to try, and then click on Close, and then you'll be testing the features in that edition. This is just a short overview to give you a working knowledge of how Scheduleview works. What we're looking at right now is the default view. It's for one single person, your staff. We call staff providers. In some of the editions of Scheduleview, you're allowed to change the terminology. And right now we're looking at Tommy Thompson's schedule for today. We can also look at just a list view of appointments. We can look at a day. We call this a grid view, where you've got the different columns. And you can also look at it in a week view, and then you can also look at a month view. The month view is basically good just to find open time slots. So for example, if somebody was wanting an 11:30 time slot, you see all these ones that are open and available. And in a week, and here we have the day view again. So the other thing that we can do, which is a very popular feature and most people ask about, is how do I view groups of people on the schedule side by side? So the answer to that is you go up to this section of the screen right there, click on the drop down arrow, and go to the 3rd item in the list. Again, if you have that terminology changed, it might read different for you, but the 3rd item will always be what we call the group view. So right now we're looking at 3 people in this group. You can add and set up and modify your groups by going to Edit and then Group Views right there. So first you would set up your providers to begin with, either by clicking that icon or clicking on Edit and then going to Providers. Once you set up the providers, which are your staff people, then you can group them into these group views that we have. So for example, in this group, we have got Tommy Thompson, Alma Unger, and Wendy Wallace. So we can do the same thing. We can switch between a day view, a week view, and then also a month view. Again, the month view is basically just useful to find open time slots. You'll see that this week view is also useful to find empty time slots. We could see again if somebody was calling for that 8:30 time slot. We could easily see that on the 23rd there's an appointment there already, but we have a lot of other two other appointments that same day for two different other people that we do have time slots available for. To make an appointment in Scheduleview is very simple. You just double click on an empty time slot. At this point you can do one of two things. You can start typing in the customer or patient or client's name. If they are in the database already, their name will start popping up. The other thing that you can do is if they're not in the database, you can click on this arrow right here and then click on New Customer, or you could just press the F5 key when you're in that field and then go ahead and create a new customer on that screen right there. If you don't want to add a customer to your database, you could just type in the name if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and type in my name, and then we could put also some notes about this appointment right here. Once you set the appointment, you can select a service code. A service code is basically the reason for the visit, why you're having the appointment. You can create those on the fly by clicking on that down arrow and then clicking on New Service Code. Just about everywhere in Scheduleview we've designed it so that if you need to look something up or add something or change something, you can do it right where you're at. You don't need to exit out, go to a different part of the menu program, add something, change something, remember where you were, and then go back to that place. You can do it all on the fly. So if you wanted to add a new service code, you could. I'm going to go ahead and just edit this service code. I didn't have one to edit. I'm going to go ahead and edit the accounting service code. So your service codes for medical could be maybe CPT codes, the reason for the visit, or maybe some kind of diagnosis-related reason. Maybe they have a strep throat. So you could create whatever service codes you want right here. You can enter a default duration for that service code. You can enter a default color and priority and a default reminder if you want reminders for that service code. This section here lets you assign providers. Since we double clicked on Wendy's appointment at 11:30, I think is 11:30 is when we set this appointment. It defaults to her right there. Because we chose this accounting service code right here, it defaults to this color. We can override it if we want and change that right there. And if we want to change the duration of this appointment, we can just by clicking in right there, up or down arrow, to increase or decrease. And then we could enter notes about the appointment right here. We also let you create some definable fields in certain editions of Scheduleview, and then also let you have either like Microsoft Word or JPEG image attachments or Excel spreadsheets, any file that's on your computer. We also let you attach to this appointment and to that customer. I'm not going to save this. Well, let me go ahead and save it. Let me edit an existing appointment right here. Once you have a customer that's in the database, we have some more information. You could add an image right here if you want. We can show their appointment history. We could show their visits. We could show directions to their locations if you're a service business and you want directions to their home or office or business location. You can show a chart. A chart is basically a narrative information that you can keep regarding this patient, customer, or client. You can keep a running narrative note here of either the services that you performed or things that you billed for. This is only a note just for your informational purposes that you can go back to any time that you want. This button right here is for QuickBooks integration. If you wanted to and QuickBooks was enabled, we could also create an invoice from this appointment if we wanted to. If that was enabled, we could call up QuickBooks with this client or customer, Belinda Black, and it would automatically go to the invoicing screen in QuickBooks. You also have appointment statuses. We let you customize some of these terminologies here and also add some additional statuses if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and close out of the appointment. A lot of times a customer will call you and they want to know when their next appointment is, so you could click on that appointment button right there on the toolbar and you could start typing in their name, and this will list all of the future appointments for that particular patient, customer, or client, and you could tell them when their next appointment is. Scheduleview lets you also create lots of different reports. You can print an appointment list, which would be printing today's appointments. Not all of these reports are available in all the different editions of Scheduleview, so be sure that when you're demoing the program that you test and see which reports are available for the edition that you're interested in. Printing today's appointments are basically in a list view. A list format. Actually, right here is what I wanted, the appointment list. I could click on preview, and then that's going to list all of these in a list format. A very popular feature that a lot of people like is they want to actually look at the screen that we're looking at rather than a list format. So we can go to the schedule grid, and the schedule grid is going to default to the group and the time frame that we had specified on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and click preview, and you see we're basically looking at what we saw on the screen. If I switch here to a day view and look for these three providers, go to reports and then schedule grid, it'll just show these three people for this particular day. And of course I could print it at this time if I wanted to. We have lots of other different marketing types reports. We also have appointment status reports. You could find out who of your clients or patients or customers are canceling most frequently. We have productivity reports that will show the percentage of time that your staff is productive with appointments. You can also find out your referrals, where they're coming from. This is a great report around Christmas time to see who gets the biggest Christmas presents based on their referrals to you. You can also find out where your clients are located by the zip code referral report. You can also track authorized visits if you are maybe a spa or some kind of organization that bills, maybe also medical offices that have insurance that's authorized only for a certain number of visits. You can enter that into the system and then keep track of the appointments. Each time you complete an appointment by right-clicking or double-clicking on the appointment and then changing the appointment status to completed, that will remove or decrease the appointment visit count by 1, and then slowly count that down if you're tracking appointments. The other way to change the appointment status is just right-clicking and then choosing the status right there. Let's look at some of these other reports. Service code recall report, or actually I missed one. The revenue generation report. If in the appointment you enter fields of information for charges, and amount is the collected amount that you collected from the patient. If you enter dollar amounts in those fields, then you can get to what we call a revenue generation report, and you can find out, for example, which of your providers are productive, or what service codes are productive and generating the most revenue for you. The service code recall report is basically run to find out who has not had a visit for a particular service code in a particular time frame. So, for example, if I wanted to see everyone who has not been in for the service code, and in the time period I put a 6M, meaning from today, for the past 6 months, I want to see everybody who has not had a visit or an appointment with that particular service code. It's great for certain types of businesses that have repeating types of appointments. We also have some advanced reports in the Plus edition of Scheduleview, where you can get some trend reports for appointments. Also by day of week, you could find out which day of the week you're busiest. You can get customer labels, also birthday labels here. You can get customer statistical reports. Here's another report style for appointments called an Outlook Grid report. Makes it look a little more like, I'm going to go ahead and choose work week right here and preview this. And this is a little more like a Microsoft Outlook calendar type of report. I'm not going to go ahead and run that report. Some of the other reports that we have, a lot of people really like this interesting report. It's called Revenue Calendar. You remember I described earlier that if you are if you're keeping track of the amounts in these two fields right here, this Revenue Calendar report right here will actually show you how much money that you have booked for each particular day. So, for example, right now we've got $0 booked for today's appointments. But this is handy for some businesses to see how much money they have scheduled so far out into the future, and then also to tell maybe which days they need to schedule more appointments on to generate charges each day of the week. So that is a great report that a lot of people really like. Again, you can analyze service codes, get information based on service codes, and a waiting list report. This is a really terrific report. A lot of people say that they bought Scheduleview, or let me back up. They didn't buy Scheduleview because of this, but after buying Scheduleview, this feature alone helped pay back the cost of Scheduleview, usually within the first month, because this lets you keep track of patients maybe that are waiting for the next available time slot when somebody cancels or no-shows. You could keep this waiting list right here and then quickly edit them, call them, and if they're available for an appointment, then you can drag and drop them onto the calendar. You can also jump forward if you maybe have a patient or client or customer that's leaving your office, checking out, and you want to book a follow-up appointment for them. You can go to the calendar right here, right-click, and then we could go to February, for example, maybe of next year to look at the calendar. And find a time slot that they can attend or schedule an appointment with, and then when you're ready, you could just click on this button right there to go back to today's date. Okay, let's see. You can also find open time slots. So if a patient calls, or a customer or client, and says that they could only come in on a Tuesday or Thursday, we could uncheck these boxes here, and maybe they can only come between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the morning. So we can go ahead and put in those parameters right here, and then we could search and find the next available time slot. Then simply by double-clicking on that, we can go ahead and make the appointment at that time slot. That wraps up this overview demonstration of Scheduleview. We hope you enjoyed the demonstration, and we hope you see how Scheduleview can work in your office or business. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact us at scheduleview.com, or you can email us at support@scheduleview.com or info@scheduleview.com. Thanks, and have a great day.